And good morning, everyone. My name is Garrison Gordon, and I am a vestry member, and I'm also a member of the Stewardship Committee. Our 2023 Stewardship campaign is underway, and the theme is "See, I am doing a new thing." I give to St. Margaret's, and I love stewardship season. I know, at the risk of sounding salesy, it is for me a time where I get to pause and reflect on what this community means to me, and the new things that we've done this year and the things that we've renewed. And that list is very long. It is an honor today for me to introduce Ron Lorentzen to give a testimony about why he gives to St. Margaret's. I sat in front of Ron on my very first Sunday at St. Margaret's, and it was that conversation that for sure is the reason that I'm standing here today. So please welcome Ron.
Hello, everyone. So last week, I listened carefully to what Annika had to say about the personal meaning for her and Ray in terms of their relationship with this community. And in years past, I've done a similar sort of why I came here, or what I found here, and why I love it testimonial. So I thought, since the theme is "See, I'm doing a new thing," I will do a new thing this year. And bear with me because it comes from here, and you'll see why that's important in a few moments. In fact, when I listened to Richard's sermon, I thought I didn't even have to say this today because he encapsulated the notion very eloquently, but I'd like to focus on one particular element. Now, if you're anything like me, your experience is like me, ever since Labor Day, we have been inundated with solicitations for financial support from, NGOs, nonprofits, cultural institutions, historical institutions, and yes, in this special year campaign, solicitations as well. And often you'll get solicitations from the people and the organizations to which you've given in the past. And that says a little bit about where your values align. So please don't take anything that I have to say as an indication that you shouldn't pray and think seriously about those other places that you give your support, because they are important and they're all part of God's creation. But I would like to focus on the term charity. Now, these are often called charitable contributions, and you get tax deductions for them and all these sort of practical transactional sales pitches for why they're a good thing to resort to. But charity, I think, has gotten kind of a misreading over the past century or so in terms of our Christian journey. We often see charity similar in the modern day, at least, to juxtapositions like pity versus compassion, or sympathy versus empathy. At least to my ears and in my mind, I'm often led to believe that charity is something that I give to, that I support, but I'm distanced from, I'm removed from in some way. In fact, charity is at the heart of our Christian journey and the reasons why we follow Jesus. Charity versus stewardship can be similar, they can be identical, and I'd like to make a pitch for why they're identical. Charity is derived from the Latin term caritas, which means heart. It means love. And in our English language, words like courageous and care come from that same original term. It also stands for what we know as Christians as agape love, which is this love that sort of encompasses all forms of love and derives its strength and power from the original love of God for God's creation, and God's creation reciprocally back toward God. So there was quite a lot of debate as Bibles got translated over the years as to, in the Greek, agape, should the word love be used or charity be used? And it's, been probably 50-50 in terms of the different kinds of Bibles that you'll encounter. Now, charity is a lovely term. if I were a Victorian woman, I would probably prefer to be called charity over prudence or temperance, right? But in the Christian context, it's been said that charity has traditionally been considered the highest form of love, signifying reciprocal love between God and humankind, I would say creation, that manifests itself in the unselfish love of others. And of course, we all know that charity was most fully and eloquently witnessed in the life and ministry of Jesus Christ. We can look to chapter 13 of Paul's first letter to the church in Corinth, where he elaborates his sense of the meaning, extent, and role of agape love in the early church. And you'll have to forgive me. Those of you who know me really well know that if I can't take it back at least 500 years, it's not worth the journey. So let me just cite a few of the people along the way who have been important to the development of Christianity, at least in the West, and what they had to say about this term. St. Augustine called caritas one of the three core theological virtues, along with truth and union. He is quoted, "Charity is a virtue which, when our affections are perfectly ordered," very Augustinian there, "unites us to God, for by it we love God." One of my favorites from the Middle Ages, Thomas Aquinas, said, "Charity is the foundation or root of Christian virtues. Charity is present if one is occupied with great things. We see a lover do great and difficult things because of the one loved. And that is why the Lord says, 'Whoever loves me will keep my word.'" And one of my all-time favorites, that English mystic from the 14th century, Julian of Norwich, she said, "Charity keeps us in faith and hope leads us to charity. And in the end, all shall be charity." And finally, St. John of the Cross from the 16th century said, "At the end of our life, we shall all be judged by charity." To me, it all goes back to the source, though, in Matthew, where Jesus is asked the question, "Name the greatest of the commandments," and his answer is, "Love the Lord with all your heart, soul, and mind, and love your neighbor as yourself." It's all about love. And love is the source, it's the heart center that we should turn to when we think of stewardship. Originating from this, our discernment is informed by and driven towards reciprocating, disseminating, and magnifying this agape love, this caritas, this charity. So I ask you and myself to reflect carefully and pray on the community that we have here, what we mean to one another, what God means to us and what we mean to God, and what this community means to the outside world, which becomes our inside world through agape love. And as we make our decisions whether and what to pledge, we should be sure to start from our call to caritas, to true charity, as so eloquently stated by Richard this morning. So God bless you, and pray on it.